You're watching the Play Pouch. Welcome back, everyone. It's been a while, and we're joined by loads of people today. Well, I say loads of people. I'm
New
joined by
members
the
of the channel. New members of the channel, mate.
new members of the channel. Yes, we've merged, as well as my partner in crime, Nick. We're also joined by Culm and Dermo from Double Dumb Gaming. And say hi, fellas. How we doing?
Hi, fellas.
How we doing?
Hi, fellas. How we doing?
Oh, good. All right. All right. So for this episode, we're going to be talking about our most anticipated games of this year, 2025. Now, I'm just going to come out and say it straight away. I've only got two. There's literally nothing else that I'm looking forward to. The three odds that I played last year were just really disappointing. Black Myth was just like meh.
Wow.
I stopped playing after the second sort of area, I think.
Wow.
Frostpunk 2 was not much better. They just turned it into like an easier sort of game in some regards. And then Star Citizen I've just been playing, which has just been riddled with bugs and shit, so whatever. So for this year, it's very simple for me. It's Monster Hunter World and GTA 6. So we'll be talking about those two when it arises. So we're going to be going through your list is essentially what I'm saying. So but I shall be bringing up trailers and stuff for visual entertainment, shall we say, whilst we do so.
Okay.
All right. So who wants to go first? Are we going to do it one each and then?
I'll do it one each. Dermo, unfortunately, can only stay. When you got to go, Dermo? 7:30.
I know about 10 to 8 because I'm all done for
okay.
what I've got to do,
Okay.
so I'm all sorted.
Since there's only going to be 3 of us, because Pete's just only got his 2 games, which is already on my list anyway. I might as well just say that already gets rid of 2 games from my list, so I've only got 3 different ones. But we'll go 5 from 1 like normal for us 3. So do you want to start us off, Damo? Since you go first, then Carmen, I'll go last because you 2 are the 2 new guys.
Right, if we're going with number 5, I'm
Yeah.
going my number 5 most game looking forward to is Tomb Raider 1VVI Remastered. Because I used to love playing Tomb Raider. It was one of the first games I played when I went over to console as a kid, and I loved Tomb Raider. I love all the games, so I really can't wait for them ones to be remastered, because for me, they're the best ones of the series, in my opinion.
Did you play the first 3 they remastered in 24?
Yeah, I did, and I loved them.
Did.
Absolutely
Okay.
loved them.
They were good, weren't they?
if I
They weren't
Yeah.
bad at all.
Now, if I can get into my old Xbox account, they're all there, so I'm really looking forward to these coming out.
Are they the ones with a creepy butler, like you used to lock in a fridge or something?
Well, that was
Yeah.
before. Oh, okay.
That was one of them, I think, yeah.
Oh, right. Can't say I'm a big Tomb Raider fan, to be fair.
I never got it, to be honest. I had someone else who was such a fan of it. I took the sort of the piss out of it just a little bit, and he nearly sort of like cut my head off. I was like, Jesus, dude. Yeah, so no, I never got it. It was just like, for 2 reasons, really, innit? That's why people love it.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
I ended up liking the remakes that came out 2012 or something. The 3 games that came out, the proper remakes. I really like them, considering.
Yeah.
It didn't want an over-the-top one, where you're in Egypt. It was really good. It was like you were looking down, and it was an over-the-top game, Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah,
And I really liked that one. It was really good. That
I am watching, obviously, the actual live thing as well, so I can actually see
yeah.
what's going on as well. I don't think that they're saying it's a remaster. Is there actually much difference, graphical wise?
Well, I don't remember it that much. So
it was very, very blocky back in the day.
It was very pixelated, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know. It looks like they've sorted that out, but I don't know.
I mean, I suppose 3 games in one. I mean, I'm assuming it's not going to be a full price game. It's going to be like 30 quid or something, rather than like, I'm assuming here.
You'd like to think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Hmm.
No,
Okay.
it's okay. Okay.
All right. Next.
Okay, Calm. What's your number 5, bruv?
So my number 5 is part of a game series that I have enjoyed so many times playing. I absolutely love the art style. I love the concept. It looks like a Tim Burton made game, and that is Little Nightmares 3. Which
Oh, interesting.
out. I adore Little Nightmares. It's such a good concept. However, I am a little bit skeptical because it's now owned by Supermassive Games, and I'm not sure how well they are going to do with it.
What are they known for? I've heard of them, but
I've heard of them many, many times. Supermassive Games, I don't think I've actually done a lot of decent games, if I'm going to be honest with you. God, 1 second, I've got a list. The Quarry, that was Supermassive Games.
No, the Quarry. Okay.
oh no, I liked the Quarry.
Man of Medan, that was Supermassive Games.
Oh, so they're responsible for the Dark Pictures anthology then?
Yes.
Okay, right. Yeah, I'm quite partial to them, if I'm going to be brutal.
I'm just not sure how it's going to go with the Little Nightmares. But I'm excited to see what happens with it, because it's obviously it's 2 new characters. It's not the same anymore. There's new enemies, new obviously locations and stuff. So it should be an interesting little game. And I just think the art, like I said, it looks like a Tim Burton made game.
It does. It does. Yeah, looks cool. All right, awesome. When's that out then?
It's not actually been given an official date, but it is some point
Meant to be this year at some point.
mid this year at some point.
Which means it may very well could be 2026. Knowing the games industry as we do.
Yes.
December the 31st, it'll probably come out.
Yeah, maybe. That looks
Okay.
interesting.
All right, next.
My number 5 is okay. Pirate Yakuza. The Yakuza game that's a pirate in Hawaii.
Okay, let me.
I think its official title is Pirate Yakuza.
Pirate Yakuza.
There we go. All right. Any particular reason?
I want to play a pirate game, and Ubisoft let me down so badly with Skull and Bones. I have been playing a bit of Assassin's Creed Rogue, which is technically it's like a mini Black Flag game, which is okay. It's shown its age a little bit, and I just like the idea. It's mixing. Yeah, you're seeing clips now. So the combat is a little bit kind of like the old Assassin's Creed games. It's a little bit over the top, as you can see, with the whole Japanese stuff, which I know Pete adores.
Well, wing ya.
Yeah, and it's got loads of bunch of silly mini games. Hopefully not as many as Final Fantasy Rebirth, and it's got the pirate stuff. So it's a little bit out there. It was a choice between this and something else, but I've gone with this one just to mix it up a little bit. To be honest, I don't know how well it does the pirate stuff. I do know the kind of series that Yakuza has become. So it's a bit wacky, as you can see from the combat. He's doing a lot of things which no human should be able to do, as you can see. But if it plays well, and it lets you do some funky pirate stuff, like I say, it's mainly because I want to play a pirate game, because Ubisoft has got that back into me, and its lack of other options. There you go, pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, like a dragon. So yeah, and that's actually out pretty soon, February 21st. So yeah, a lot of that's it. That's my kind of one that's kind of out there a little bit, that could be interchanged with other games.
Where's it set? Oh, Malibu. Oh, Hawaii.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I phased out.
And why you become a pirate with an old pirate ship? I mean, I haven't got these answers for you, Pete.
It looks like No More Heroes.
You think so?
Yeah, the quirkiness, the fighting. it's giving me No More Heroes vibes. Which, to be fair, I'm down for because I played No More Heroes and I had hours and hours of fun. To the point where my missus actually came in and was like, "Are you actually going to come off this game?" So yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
there's like one of the mini games is literally Mario Kart. There's literally like a Mario Kart clone built in, and then there's also karaoke, which is a staple of this series, which is one of those press the right buttons at the right time kind of thing. So there's always loads of these little mini games, and apparently you can be a pirate. So it's caught my interest as like a little bit of a wacky kind of out there game. I won't go and buy it at full price. It's one of those games which I'll wait till it's on sale and something later in the year. But
Okay. All right.
looking
Cool.
forward, something different, dude. Just something a bit different.
Yeah. Cool, man. Of course. All right, Domo. You're next, number 4.
Number 4, well, I was going to put in Transformers Reactivate. I got breaking news yesterday. That game has now been cancelled.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
so disappointed about that. Because some of the early stuff they were showing it looked a really good third-person Transformers game. It was something similar to War and Fall of Cybertron. It was that sort of what they were trying to bring. And also, would Xbox please take their finger out of their ass and actually bring back them 2 games back on the Game Pass, because we've been waiting and waiting and waiting for so long for Activision and Microsoft to do something. Just bring them back.
Keep waiting.
When
Yeah.
you say we, do you really mean you?
Yeah, me. Yeah, me. Not we, me.
Yeah.
I'll
I
be
know you
truthful.
3 don't.
Yeah, I'll be truthful to you, Demo. I could not give a monkey's uncle if Transformers comes back onto the Xbox.
Oh, bless him.
I know. Look, I'm on my own on this.
No. I'll stick by you, Demo. I liked War of Cybertron. I like those games. The 2 games, War of Cybertron and everything that came out. I really like them. I'm not obsessed for them to come back as much, but I liked them. I thought they were good. They were fun games. Me and Alan played them.
I mean, I'm at the point where I'm actually going back to buying an original Xbox to
Wow,
actually play the early
okay.
James Bond games as well.
See, I
Oh.
can't join you on that hill, but I can join you on the.
That's
But
love,
anyway,
isn't it?
I wouldn't buy an Xbox just to play them, but yeah.
That's love for the
Yeah.
franchise, isn't it? Jesus.
Yeah, it is. Or completely lunatic for the franchise. One or the other. I know I'm weird, but that's just me. My the 4th one I'm actually going to pick, which I've only started playing recently, actually, over the last sort of 6 months. It's Sniper Elite Resistance. Now, the Sniper games, they're free in Game Pass, and
Yeah.
if you're bored, they're a great game to play if you're just bored and you just want to do something that's not really tactful. And
Is it Sniper Elite Resistance?
Yeah, that's the new one that's coming out. Yeah.
and the ones that was on the Game Pass, they've been really good, and I've really enjoyed them. So yeah, I had a look at this today, and I like the look of it. And I'm really excited. I think it might be a Game Pass game.
The other ones were, weren't they? I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but no, I'm really looking forward to this, and
You
it
can
looks
shoot
good.
Nazis.
And
You can shoot Nazis in the bollocks. Just so
you
everyone
can.
knows.
That's what I tried to do. I tried to shoot them in the most ridiculous places.
Yeah.
Doesn't always work, but I just like the whole theme of it. I'm really into, like, recently I'm starting playing Call of Duty really for the first time, and I just like this sort of old Cold War, World War II sort of vibe that it brings, and I'm really looking forward to it. It looks really good. It's 3rd person as well, which I really love. And I just really looking forward to this game, and I think it's going to be a great game when it comes out. It's not for everyone, I know that, but I think if you want to spend a few hours just chilling out and relaxing and not be too taxing, I think this is the game for you.
Okay. Anyone else looking forward to this one?
No.
Don't all shout.
A little bit.
Such a Debbie Downer, me.
Looking at the video, I mean, one of the best things I think about it is the kind of the kill cam, which I know is a staple of the game. So if you're seeing, you're getting a bird's eye view of when the bullet hits the Nazis and their head just kind of turned to paper mache, mate. And it's like that's literally the point of the game.
literally the only thing about this game that is appealing to me is that I would possibly get the chance to shoot Adolf Hitler's other testicle off, and that is it.
Probably, yeah, probably.
You
Is
know
it-
what, Colin? I would pay to watch that. I would put that on pay to view just to see you tried to do that.
No, I have played the older versions, obviously, of Sniper Elite, and I do like my stealth games. I like my first person shooters, my third person shooters. It's not a game that actually sat with me.
Mm.
I don't know why. I don't know whether it's just because it's quite a slow gameplay or not. But yeah, it's just something I couldn't get into.
It's
I know
a
I don't play
shame. It's a shame that Alan isn't here, unfortunately. I remember because he really got into these, so he would 100% be agreeing with you, Dermo. I'd imagine that Resistance probably was on his top 5 because he was talking to me. He kept on telling me to, oh, this free on Game Pass, go and play the other ones, and I'm like, oh, at some point maybe. So I think you would have had a bit of backup, Dermo, with Alan if he was here
Hmm.
on
I'm
this
used
one.
to being a lone wolf. I'm used to it. It's fine.
Okay, Colm, your number 4, sir.
Yes, my number 4 is again a sequel, and it is Subnautica 2. I've been waiting for Subnautica 2 for a while now. I played the living shit out of Subnautica 1. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Being on a different planet, everything being underwater.
Oh,
You know,
man.
I don't know what it is. And the good thing about this is as well, it's got co-op up to 6 players on Subnautica 2.
Okay.
So I am actually really excited to try and find friends to play online with me, because there's nothing scarier than being out in the big blue sea, or whatever they call it, on the planet, and seeing a massive Leviathan pop up from behind and going, oh shit, run as fast as you can. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one.
I think undersea games are a little bit sort of like I'll shy away from it because not only because of BioShock, but like because of the whole Titan thing that we had. What was it, last year with the submarine? It's just like it. I don't know, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a tragedy that it still affects me, and I don't really want to sort of,
I tend to not like it underwater sections in games. That's always been the case, even from the old, like, Tomb Raider stuff and games like that, where as soon as you put like an underwater section, I was just like, I just want to get through this as quickly as possible. That was my reaction to it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I spoke to plenty of people that feel exactly the same way. Underwater sections are normally terrible, but the way they've actually done the mechanics in Subnautica 1, obviously I've not played Subnautica 2 yet, was actually really good, because it's obviously survival. It's a survival game, that's what it is. And
How much of a survival game is it? Is it like crafting and everything? Like you got?
Oh yeah, you've got to craft your own bases. You've got to
Okay.
craft your your submarines and everything like that. Your like scouting equipment. You got to hunt for your own food. It's like 100% survival. And I don't play a lot of survival games, but I put a lot of time into Subnautica 1, so I probably will do Subnautica 2.
I've heard good things
And is
about
it
it. Even though
because
I
there's
haven't
a
played it.
multiplayer action to it that's really appealed you to this then, Colin, is it?
Well, I was going to play it anyway. I just really like the fact that they actually have integrated multiplayer into it, because the one downfall I had with Subnautica 1 is it felt very lonely. And obviously that was the whole point of the game. You're stranded on this other planet and you're alone. But it did make you feel that. But I think it'd be an interesting twist to have a couple of teammates with you. Because then obviously I don't know what the storyline's going to be behind it. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Nice. Nick?
Right, my number 4. Civilization 7. Now, I don't know, that could be higher up maybe for someone else. Probably not. I'm probably the biggest Civ fan here, I think. No, I've played all of them since Civ 2.
Yeah.
They were mainly on PC. Of course, now this one is actually coming out on everything, which means I should be able to play it because my Xbox is probably more powerful than my PC. So, but it is on everything. Do these kind of games carry over well to the console? Civ 6 wasn't a bad port.
It's hit and miss.
Yeah. So if they keep the same kind of setup and they do a good port of it, then I'll be happy. But it probably should be played on PC, to be honest. But and because it's a 4X game, it's a turn-based game. It doesn't really matter if it's 60 frames per second or 30. It's one of those genres where that actually does not matter. On a turn-based game, it doesn't actually make a difference. It's one of the few genres that I'm okay and don't care about. Oh, it's not 60 frames per second. If it's turn-based, I don't give a shit. So, worst comes to the worst, I may be able to run it on my PC at a very low level, but I'll probably try it on Xbox first. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've heard from channels who cover just Civ that there is concerns about it. So it's one of those like we'll have to wait and see. But I can't not include it on my list because I've put so many thousands of hours over the years into the Civ games.
Yeah.
But the way it normally goes, the trend it normally goes is that when the base game of the Civs come out, they're normally a little lackluster and they're lacking in balance and polish and even content. But normally it takes a DLC or two, which it shouldn't be that way, but that's just the way that it is. It takes a DLC or two, and it is sometimes or two, and then to get the fully fleshed out game it should have been. So.
Well, I don't know whether you mentioned it, but there's an issue with the turn-based thing because now they're saying that it's like fluid and there should be no sort of turns as such. Is that right?
I haven't heard that unless they mean for when you play multiplayer, because that was a problem like when me and you tried to play it, Pete, because I'm such a slow player, which is just how I play that game, those genres. That obviously for the other player like yourself, you were getting impatient, which I understand. So maybe they think that maybe by doing something like that, I don't know. I haven't heard that in single player. If that is true, then I don't know what they're. I mean, unless they turn it into a real time game, I don't think they've done that. That would be very controversial if they turn it into a real time strategy game and not a turn based game.
Yeah,
that would be very controversial. I don't think they've done that, but. I like these kind of games. They're not for everyone, but and it's the only one of these games kind of that's coming out for me next year. And the rest of the games are all action games. So if you like those kind of tactical kind of empire building kind of games, there are two different types. There are types like I know like Pete likes Frostpunk. So there are two different types. There are types where it can be done in real time strategy, and then there's types where it's classed as a 4X. That's the kind of genre 4X, and they're normally turn-based. So that's out on everything. So, but it's a unique genre. It really isn't for everyone. But if you like that kind of stuff, which I do, then I am looking forward to it. Though I do expect probably that at launch it's going to have a lot of issues.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens.
With balance and stuff like that. So yeah, it's out again. It's just another early release. I think it's out in February as well, February or March. So
I'm quite interested to see about this one because I played Civ 2. I've not played any of the others, and like I'm quite a big fan of Frostpunk myself. Yeah, those kind of games. So I might give this one a try. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna let you review it first before I buy it.
Well, you can get Civ 6 con for $2.99. Just letting you know.
Oh, I don't know if I can pay $2.99.
$2.99.
All right, let's move on. So, Dermo, you're number 3.
Yeah, my number 3 is a franchise I really love. It's from the Mafia franchise, and it's Mafia: The Old Country.
Good
very
choice.
much love all.
Love
all the Mafia games. Especially love the third one that brought out that went back into the Vietnam sort of era. Loved the music, loved the way they did it. But I love the other two as well. But for me, I'm really looking forward to this one and seeing how this one comes out. I just love Mafia, and I just hope it lives up to my hopes to be in part of the Mafia trilogy. But you'll only know that is when you start playing it. But for me, I can't wait for this. I'm so looking forward to it.
Yeah, it caught my eye when me and Pete were doing our reaction, it caught my eye as well. I thought to myself, I'd like it. I like the setting. I like going back a bit further because GTA and everything like that. They kind of like it's all based on today, but going back 100 years or so.
It's a good move. Definitely a good move to make.
Yeah, because it's got that little Western feeling as well, a little bit, isn't it?
I was really excited until I've just seen who's developing it, and it's 2K, which means it's going to be crap. Because they cannot put a good game together at all.
It's going to be full of microtransactions, I can tell you that.
Yeah,
2K.
100%. You want bullets for your gun? £15.99.
Thank given my days.
A larger clip size, 20 quid. Yeah, shit like that. Well, hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not, Pete. Sorry, I didn't mean to overcut you. I just really hope it lives up to the franchise, because the other 3 ones I've really loved. And I keep playing them again and again and again and again. And just this one, they've gone back. It's sort of old school Mafia, which is what I love. A bit like early Godfather, if you know the Godfather film sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's just, I just can't wait. But as you say, if there's going to be mini transactions in it, and then that will ruin it for me.
Yeah.
That's how I hope it doesn't go down that road.
Well, you never
2K
know.
transaction, everything.
They may have learned their lesson. You never know. But we'll see.
I don't know. I loaded up WWE 2K24, which, by the way, only has like 4 months left on it, and there's a new DLC pack, and they're charging $25.99 for it. So
yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
All right. Swiftly onwards. Colm.
Yes, my number 3 is Avowed. I am actually looking forward to this one.
This is on Game Pass, this one.
It
so
is.
This
It is on Game Pass.
That'll be a good thing.
It's obviously by Obsidian, the wonderful creators of New Vegas.
Yeah.
Which has definitely pulled my interest, because I think one of the times I've been on this show before, I think I actually slated New Vegas. But I actually have played the Fallouts again, and New Vegas has become my favourite.
Wow.
So I'm actually really looking forward to see what they're actually going to do with this game, because it just looks amazing anyway. And the fact it's on Game Pass day 1 as well,
Yeah,
is
it's
a
nice.
bonus. And I think it comes out in February. So yeah, not long.
I think me and Pete, you had a little conversation on it, because I think they showed it in one of the shows recently. We did, and you weren't impressed with it, were you?
Oh, well, I think I've discovered why. I think it's triggering my trypophobia quite heavily. There's some monsters in this game which like makes me want to puke. Trypophobia, guys, if you don't know what that is basically I can't look at things where there's a surface and then there's tons of holes next to each other, kind of like a honeycomb situation.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that, and so there's a few enemy types in here which will sort of have that kind of feel to it, and it just sort of just makes me go.
This is heavily inspired by Skyrim to me anyway.
Yeah, 100%.
The way obviously the way you can do the magic and stuff like that. I mean,
it does look good. So
yeah, it does look good. Yeah,
the graphics look nice colors, nice range of colors as well. It's all like across the spectrum and stuff. Yeah,
and Obsidian are generally quite a hot. They do generally make pretty good RPGs. Generally, they do. Their track record is pretty high, and they have said that it's a bit of a smaller game, so it's not going to be your Skyrim levels of big. So that's either a good or a bad thing, depending on how you like your games.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to have, you're not going to get like 500 hours or something like you probably can in Skyrim. It's going to be probably a little bit more of a smaller experience, but maybe a bit tighter one. So.
And it's going to be like first and third person, isn't it? I would have thought.
Yeah.
Can you change the view? You can.
Yeah, you can switch between them. Yeah. I think it's like, if people are like new to gaming or something, I think this would be a good segue into the Elder Scrolls series, because like you've said, it's kind of a miniature version of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it does look good. I remember the teaser trailer really sort of like gave us a semi, didn't it, Nick? I mean, when we saw it, it was just like,
I mean, there
oh.
was. I think I can't remember the exact show we saw it, but it was one of those shows where there wasn't that much that we really took from it. But I think this was one of the ones where we were both like, we'll keep an eye on this one.
Yeah.
And like I say, since it's on Game Pass, which shouldn't really include, but it does mean that there's no kind of risk to not give it a go, really, because I think we've all got Game Pass. I could be wrong, but maybe not you, Pete. But so you might as well.
Yeah. Okay. Nick, your number 3, is it?
My number 3, nearly a guilty pleasure because I know that it's from an absolutely terrible company with terrible practices, whose track record of games over the last couple of years could be the worst in the world. And there's a part of me that wants this to fall in its ass just so they go away forever. But I am who I am. Just who I am, mate.
Go on then.
Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Oh, you fucking slag.
I've been asking for a Japanese ever since the Assassin's Creed series started, back when they were good. I've been looking for this setting, and of course it's taken them like 15 years to get to this setting, probably because they've run out now. And even though there are other Japanese kind of samurai kind of games probably that are already going to be much better than this, such as your what's the series on PlayStation 5? What am I thinking of? Ghost of Tsushima. Which probably does that a hell of a lot better. And that there's a sequel to that game coming out this year as well, which easily could have made the list as well. But I do like the Assassin's Creed series overall. I don't like the direction the General Games has gone in. I don't like the company who's made it. Just like Con with 2K, they are a horrible company overall with very bad practices. All these different editions, stuff like that. We've done plenty of show, me and Pete, on just Ubisoft and the latest horrible things they've done in their games or to how they've treated their workers. So I do feel I might need a little bit of a shower afterwards, but I would be lying if I wasn't interested in getting their game. That will probably be buggy and loads of microtransactions and all the same stuff. It's all going to be there. I know it's going to be there.
A lot of people don't like the fact that it's a female assassin and a black samurai.
I personally could give two S's about that, but
I don't care. I don't care either. But it somehow feels less refined than other Assassin's Creed games. I don't know what it is about it, but it just feels like.
And the thing is, it's been delayed a couple of times as well, and Ubisoft had such a bad year that if this flops as well, without being too overly dramatic, that they could end up folding.
I think they're gonna flop simply because like I've watched a load of videos today to try and figure out what to put on this list, and this came straight off the list as soon as I got told. It's going to be based around a similar style of Mirage, and Mirage was fucking awful.
No, see, I never got around to playing that, even though I saw it for like 15 quid. I was like, no,
yeah, no point. 15 quid, you were done within 2 hours.
Jesus.
It was awful.
Well,
I got it on Game Pass, thankfully. So, but
yeah,
awful. And if they based this one off of that, then it's not going to be an enjoyable experience at all.
Well, I think what they're trying to do, and I use the word obviously trying, is that the girl is a proper assassin who sneaks around, and then if you want to use brute force, that's when you turn into the giant black samurai. So how much freedom you get, like whether or not you can switch at will, I don't know. I don't know. You get to the point with this series, like it's lost its identity. They don't really know what they want to be. It's called Assassin's Creed, but then they want one of the characters to be somebody who couldn't sneak past anyone in massive samurai armor. So
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. But I like this setting. I've wanted this game for ages. It's probably come too late. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't interested. I am, but very dubious at the same time. So that's my number 3. Sorry, guys. It is Ubisoft.
Fine.
It is Ubisoft, and a large part of me wants them to fail massively as well. So.
Okay. All right, Dermo. So you got to shoot soon. I understand. So
I have. I'm
you
very
wanna-
sorry about that.
do you want to just do your last two then?
Yeah, if that's okay.
Yeah,
My
go for
last
it, mate.
two is number 2 is Monster Hunter Wilds, which I've never played, but I've heard so much things about it from you, Tequila.
Yeah.
And I've liked the trailer that I'm actually going to give it a go when it comes out because it looks really good, and I like the trailer to it. And my number 1 is actually Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Oh.
I like the look of it. I only got into Assassin's Creed because of Valhalla, and I really enjoyed playing that. So I like all this Japanese sort of ninja
Yeah.
type games anyway. So that's why that's my number 1 game I'm really looking forward to this year. But yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds. It's only because of you, Tequila. You've said it to me a few times, and it's a game. It is on Game Pass, I think. Don't
It
quote me on
actually
that.
isn't Dermo, unfortunately.
Oh,
It probably
know,
will.
probably have-
It probably will go to Game Pass eventually. They normally do, but it's not at the release.
It's not a game I've actually played, but I've liked what I've seen, and I've heard you quote it. Heard you say how good a
It's-
game it is.
It's it's so much fun.
You better be ready. It's not easy.
It's not an easy game though. Yeah.
It doesn't hold your hand. Monster Hunter does not hold your hand at all.
No.
But Tequila, you can be happy because you'll also have another console player whilst the Master Race over here with me and Pete can play it on PC.
Taylor, if Alan plays it as well as Dermo, it's going to be 3-2, mate. So you're going to be outnumbered.
Nah, it's fine. PC
I
Master Race
don't
can never
know.
be outnumbered.
Yeah.
I don't know. Colin may twist me arm to go over to be a PC player. I'm still
Yeah,
waiting
it's
for him
better.
to give me
Boo.
the reason why.
PC's better.
Boo.
Greater fidelity,
Well, I got a capture
mods.
card, so I need to learn how to hook that up. But once I do that, then away I go.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, like Monster Hunter Wilds we know it's going to be a good one. We're not like sitting there thinking, "Oh, is it going to be good?" It's going to be. The only thing that I think me and Colm are a bit scared about is the performance on PC. It says that you can get 60 frames a second if you use frame generation. This is like what?
But I thought you guys were PC Master Race. What's the problem?
Yeah, it's just like not all of us have frame generation, so they're shooting a lot of people in the foot with that. So if you don't have like a what you call it, the RTX 3000 series and above cards, then you're not going to be able to. I mean, like it'll probably have like AMD's frame generation, but I don't know.
It's fine. After what I've done to my PC today, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to get a new one anyway. So
Go and join the
Jeez.
console. Get yourself an
Oh,
Xbox.
no.
Tom.
Hell no. That's
No.
like going back a step, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
I
going
can't
back
do
10 years. All right. So we're going to say goodbye to Dermo. Thank you so much for joining us
Yes,
today, Dermo.
Cheers, Demo.
No, thank you for having me on. Thank you for inviting me, joining your great channel. I'm looking forward to what we're going to do over the year. And my 2025 resolution for games is actually to play more horror games because
Ooh.
I'm the only one in the
Ooh.
group that doesn't play horror games, doesn't like them. But
Oh
I'm
no,
now
no.
gonna push myself.
Alan, he's not here unfortunately. He also, even though he loves horror films, he won't play horror games.
That's fine.
I don't like
Demo
horror
said it now.
films either.
Demo said it now. That means
So-
I'm getting you on Visage Demo.
Yeah.
Uh,
No. Look, I'm going to try. I'm going to push myself this year, Colin, and try to play some of the games you play, guys, and I can be more involved in. So that's my resolution for 2025. But please do like and subscribe to this great channel. The three great lads. Pete's
thanks,
great
mate.
lad. So is Tequila and Colin.
I'll send you 20
Yeah,
quid
and
over
I'm-
later.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this channel, where we can go with it, and where we can go in 2025, because I know it's going to be a big year for us on the gaming side. But thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your show, lads, and have a good one.
Cheers,
Cheers, mate.
Dermo. Thanks, mate.
No problem. Thanks.
Okay, so Colm, you're number 2.
Yes.
Yes.
My number 2, I do have a fear about this game because when it comes out, I don't think me or Tequila are going to be seen anywhere. And that is Gears E-Day.
Ah.
Me and Tequila absolutely adore Gears of War.
Yep.
we're hoping that this one's going to be exactly the same because we will pretty much be in Horde every single night that we possibly
We are
can do.
whores for Horde, aren't we?
We are, yes,
We
we
are-
are whores for Horde.
Hordes.
Yes, exactly.
And Alan also quite likes sitcom, so that's at
Oh,
least
wow.
That's at least three of us who are probably going to be into it out of us five.
Yeah, well, there we go.
Dermo
Demo
bless him,
tries.
he tried. I think he struggled to get into it because the rest of us had kind of played it, so he was like the newcomer, and it can be difficult if you start playing with guys who, are so much more knowledgeable about the game.
Mm.
So we kind of threw him in the deep end a little bit, but Pete, it's never really been. I mean, you've tried it, you've played it with me and Alan, but
Yeah,
you
it's,
never. You just got bored. You just get bored, don't you? That's what it is. I think.
I have a ADHD problem. Like just it's really bad, and like I mean, half of the time it's not the game, it's me. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm in a relationship, but like it's honestly it's no fault to the game. It's just that I get bored and I feel restless if I don't sort of do something else and shit. But this is like a prequel, right? So this is
Yeah.
not like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. This,
I
this
must.
goes back
I
to
must admit, Con, very quickly. I didn't realize it was coming out this year. I've only just remembered it is.
Oh,
Too
dear.
late. Too late to change my top five, really, because I
Oh,
can't change the top
dear.
two.
I've-
So that
I've got it
I guess in
bookmarked, mate.
hindsight, this would have been at fifth place instead of the pirate game. But too late now.
I've got
I
this
actually
bookmarked.
forgot. Yeah.
So any news that comes out about it, I'm getting known because I just love the Gears franchise so much. Even my partner loves the Gears franchise. I've got her into it.
Really?
Yeah, we've gone through 1, 2, and 3 together on the co-op. mode.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
And then we got to 4, and I was like, you can play it on your own now.
You stopped giving. Did you stop giving a shit about the story like me and Alan did?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting because I'm going to play the story of this one.
Yeah. So
It'll be
will I,
quite
yeah.
interesting to
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
how it started. I know we've got like little snippets from obviously the
Little
originals,
flashbacks. Yeah.
but this is like a full out fledged story of how it all began, and I'm quite excited to actually see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I felt like they must have felt the same way, that people were kind of like, well, you've kind of lost your way a little bit with the storytelling in the last game or two. So it's like maybe they're like so they've said, okay, we're just gonna go more or less right back to the beginning, because I think the story got a little bit convoluted as it went on.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the story. I'll be watching the gameplay movie, so
Yeah.
see what happens there.
But no, good choice, Come. Like I say, in hindsight, I should have put this at my number 5 instead of the pirate game, but I literally didn't think of it. My bad.
This was going to be my number 1, but there's a game out which I absolutely simp for. So
Cool.
Okay.
All right, Nick, your number 2, sir.
My number 2. GTA 6. Asterix.
Oh.
Asterix. If it doesn't get fucking delayed again.
I think that a lot of people are going to be upset. They probably. I feel like they would have announced it. If it was going to be delayed, to be honest.
You think so?
I think they would have done it by now.
Yeah,
because,
I mean, I can see it being delayed again. Yeah, I can.
I mean, it looks fantastic, as we all know. I can't wait to cruise this beach and pick up some hoes, and just sort of enjoy the game and stuff like that. I mean, it looks mental, absolutely mental. So,
and also for me, and I'm not going to be too controversial about it. It doesn't need to be, but I'll be honest. With the woke culture, I won't get too far into it, but we don't need to get too far into it. But with the woke culture, I want to see, and this is the way I'll phrase it, if Rockstar have lost their mettle.
No, I don't think they will have. To be honest, mate, I think they're just going to parody it.
Do you think they're still going to be, or they're still going to feel ballsy enough, if that's the word, to take the mick as they do with more or less everything else, or do they think, well, Pete, it's just too much of a PC world at the minute that we actually can't do it because we're going to get blowback. I
No,
hope
no, no,
that
no.
they
don't
don't
give a
do
shit.
that.
I
No,
don't
they
think Rockstar
won't.
give a shit.
No, I don't think they do.
I don't think they care either. I'm hoping that they don't. I'm hoping that because if they do start giving a shit, then that will ruin the whole fucking thing.
No, yeah, I don't think they will. I think they're just going to stick to their guns, and if anything happens, then it's just more publicity for the game, isn't it?
It's true.
So, yeah, like, you know, they're just going to parody whatever's happening, right?
That's what I mean. They take the piss out of most things, which is fine. But then everything's got to be fair game. If that's the case, you either do
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? You either do it to everything. You don't just start pick and choosing because they're scared of the blowback. I'm fearful that they will, but I hope that they won't. That's my kind of.
Yeah. No, I
Sure.
don't think they will. So, all right. Moving on. Colm, you're number one.
Yes, my number one is a franchise I simp out over, and I have done for a long time. Recently played all the games again, fell in love with them all again, and it is Fable. I know we had a little conversation earlier in like the WhatsApp chat where I was a little bit concerned, but I just love these games. I so love these games.
Yeah.
It's something
storytelling.
about it in there. This the atmosphere and you know,
It's
everything.
just so well put together. Every single game. I've never got bored playing a Fable game ever. You know, I literally, I think I spoke to you guys a couple of days ago where I said, you know, I've literally played them back to back to back. You know, 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
I just can't get enough of it. It looks visibly stunning. You know, the new
Yeah.
graphics and everything as well are just going to enhance it. I do have some slight concerns, but at the end of the day, that's only because I've not actually seen, you know, I've not physically held and played the game myself. I think that's what it is.
Tom, are you anxious that obviously the guy who made them, Peter Molyneux, is not involved in the slightest in the series anymore? Does that
Yes.
concern you?
It does massively, because I think, you know, Peter Molyneux's made it. Well, he basically made them what they are. You know, it does concern me. Like I said, that he's not there, but I want to give it the benefit of the doubt. I will know instantly whether it's going to live up to expectation or not. Instantly.
I mean, I think Peter Molyneux had a lot of good ideas. It was just like he overreached what his dev team could do, and the sort of development time it would take. So I still sort of classify him as a visionary to some degree.
Yeah,
but
he
it's
was.
it's just not gonna, you know.
He's become, unfortunately, I think a lot of people are going to take the mick out of him.
Yeah.
Because he's a little bit. I can't say that it's not his fault. A little bit. He has a lot of it is his fault by some of the stuff he's said and done.
Yeah.
But that you still can't not give him credit for, you know, especially at least in the early years for me, that he had a lot of very good ideas. And as Pete said, maybe they didn't quite come to fruition, but the ideas were there. But his reputation has kind of been ruined, unfortunately for him. People kind of, I think, regard him a little bit as kind of a joke now, which is unfortunate because I don't think he overall was a joke, but it's what he's become now, which is unfortunate because now obviously he's not really been taken seriously and probably won't be again.
No,
well, you know, what can you do?
I mean, the other thing I'm quite interested to see is this is obviously done on the Unreal Engine, but it's also done on Forza Tech, which is going to be quite interesting to see how that plays a role.
As in Forza Motorsport?
Yes.
Yeah.
Weird that they would choose a racing sort of adapted engine, but fine.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, that's an Xbox exclusive, isn't it?
Yes, Forza. Fable, yeah, it's Xbox exclusive.
Just like the Gears game is. So, I guess I'm not that surprised that they've taken it from another Xbox exclusive Forza series. It'll be on Game Pass. So just like I said with the earlier game Avowed, it'll be on Game Pass. So for me, it's like a no-brainer. I might as well try it.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
like it or you're
So,
not.
I mean, so will the Gears game, to be honest. So the last couple of, there's a couple of games on there which there's no reason not to try. They're all going to be on Game Pass if you've got Game Pass. So
Yeah,
I'll certainly be giving it a look.
it does look good. It looks amazing, actually. All right, Nick, you're number one.
Come on, do you need to ask?
I might do. I'm starting to type something in, so
Look, I'm a nerd, right? I got way too much time on my hands than I probably should. Than your normal middle-aged man does, right? So
Mhm.
so when I spend in the 4 digits of hours in one game, and Pete can back me up on this, then
yeah.
you're damn right. I better be excited for the next one in the series.
Oh, Little Big Planet. Yeah, I heard that's
Oh
coming.
yeah, Little Big Planet. That's it. So it's Monster Hunter Wilds. Now,
Of course it is.
Now, me and Alan, Pete joined a little bit later on when the DLC came out for it. But me and Alan played Rise, and although Rise is a good game, it's not to the same levels of Worlds, and that's not only because I had a rougher time with my character, the bow character, which I did, but overall, the quality is not as much as it is Worlds. This is the proper sequel to Monster Hunter World, so if I'm putting in 1,000 hours, which is what I think it came up to nearly after everything, 1,000 hours is insane, but there we are. So
Yeah.
how can I not be looking forward to this?
Yeah, it's insane the amount of time you put into that game. But yeah, I mean, like, I'm scared for all sorts of reasons, and I just hope my mental health sort of like stays intact.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when me and Pete were doing it, they brought out some Witcher DLC, which me and Pete obviously like The Witcher as well, so that was like best of two worlds. And then they brought out some creature, and I can't remember the name. What?
Leshen.
Yeah, and it was a super Leshen or something. It was a special version of the Leshen. There was 2 versions, and then you got the normal version, which we did first time because we were pretty good players. But then the second one come along, and we were attempt after attempt after attempt, day after day after day after day.
Yeah.
In the end, did we do it? Yes. Only the one time, and we both said, ain't fucking ever doing it again. But the point is that we were so determined or obsessed, however you want to look at it, to beat this fucking creature, that literally we made ourselves ill, especially Pete, who had it worse than me, made himself literally physically ill, trying to beat some of these monsters. And when you're making yourself physically ill, then you know that you probably played a bit too much of it, and you should take a break, as I think we learned.
But there's only 3 monsters in Monster Hunter World that I didn't solo. One of them was the Super Leshen, whatever. Another one was Behemoth from Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
And then Fatalis at the end, the big bastard dragon. Yeah.
Same here. Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where you hated it, but you loved it. That was the point. It was just so addictive. And the thing is that, I mean, I ended up, I think, playing 3 weapons. Pete stuck to 2 weapons. So really, if there was actually so much game we actually didn't get to see because there's like 14 weapons or whatever it is. So it's absolutely insanity. Like if you really wanted to master every weapon, you would have such a gameplay. On most of the weapons are different enough. There's a couple which overlap a little bit, but most of the weapons are so different enough that you literally have a different gameplay experience. And some monsters are easier with certain weapons than others. That's also there as well.
Yeah.
But there's just so much to it. So I'm assuming, as long as they don't screw with it too much, which I don't think they have. I know, they have changed a couple of things, but as long as generally they're pretty consistent with their Monster Hunter games. You know what I mean? They'll add a couple new features, but the core mechanics will generally stay the same at its root. So unless they really do screw with it, then it's hard to be excited. Yeah,
I don't.
I understand, and I agree regarding worrying about how it runs. As an Xbox player, apparently the performance mode you can get 60, but it's going to be hit and miss. So it does concern me. That does, and it might take a couple of patches, which isn't the right thing. But this is just the way it is in 2025.
Well, I have to upgrade my CPU before this game comes out because I'm not worried.
You haven't got
Yeah,
long, bro.
Got just over a month.
Yeah, end of February, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so having to spend 300 quid on a new CPU and then another 50 to get it installed because I ain't installing that fucker. So, yeah, I'll be taking it to PC World.
Another thing that makes this game pretty good is it is a game that can be played by yourself and with mates.
Yeah.
And it's hard to know what... I think the consensus was in the end, Pete, that it was slightly easier solo.
I think it depends on the monster.
Yeah, but I think because they added extra hit points and everything, so it was weird because obviously the monster had more targets to go for, so you would think like offensively it would be easier because the chances of you getting two-shotted, as we used to call it, was much less because the monster had multiple targets, and that's true. But the monster took so much longer to kill that the fights generally lasted longer more often than not. So I don't know. I think maybe we came to the consensus it probably was slightly easier solo. And there was a whole challenge thing, and I know me and Pete were both like, well, yeah, we'll do it mainly. We mainly played the game co-op, but then we'd go back and make sure that we could both solo it, and it was a little bit of an ego thing, I suppose. To be honest, it was like, I'm gonna, we've done the story mission together, and that's fair enough, and that will be the first time we do it. And then once late at night, one of it, or at least myself, and it's like, okay, so I know I can beat you with my mate. I'm gonna see if I can just you and me in that kind of, and so you'd end up kind of playing it co-op with your friends and having a good time. And then you go back and challenge yourself a little bit and say, okay, can I do you by myself?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm scared, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure if I want to put as much time into this as I did with Monster Hunter World, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be my number one. I'd be crazy if I didn't have that as my number one, bruv. So.
Well, that's a nice eclectic mix of games that we're all looking forward to. It's a shame that Alan wasn't able to join us. He was having some trouble with connecting to Discord. And, if I'm brutally honest, if Witcher 4 does get released this year, which I know it won't.
No, hey, don't be silly. Now you are dreaming.
I know I'm dreaming. Just like XCOM 3 is going to come out in August.
Yeah, sure it is.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen. But that is our top 5 most anticipated games of 2025. I hope you enjoyed the video. We will be back. I don't know when, because we're not sticking to a schedule. We're only going to upload videos when we fucking want. Yeah. And so we're going against the grain, if you like, and we want to produce nice content rather than just sort of spamming with shit. So
yeah.
We'll say goodbye to Coleman Nick. Say goodbye, fellas.
Bye. Thanks, guys.
And I will sort of leave with the usual splurge, which is please like and subscribe and do all those wonderful things that YouTube asks us to do. And yes, we have a Discord. We have a Patreon channel. And if you choose to subscribe us, that enables us to speak on YouTube a little bit more freely, enable us to say words like fuck, shit, cunt, bollocks, tit, wank. Any other swear words you guys can think of? I can't think of any. Yeah. All right. Okay, everyone. So yeah, cool. We'll see you on the next episode. Until then, take care.
Take care.